Let reaction.
Yeah, thank you so much, Buba.
Can I have another bottle of water, please?
Um, the discussion on the cake right now.
Thank you.
Send the mayor along.
I really need it.
Our party leader, where I should have broken from the Dabo. Tuesday, I think at Diamuta. And at Diamu,
Wednesday.
I mean, okay, Wednesday. I think at Diamuta, and what Diamu, I remember from Diamu. And Dulu, come out from Afonyana, Diamuko, don't by follow that. And by follow, Ilata Menna, Eka to a normal. But Eka telephone normal fana, and Infonara, because Ila Lano or Tomadi, Ilatico, Tommy Barnum, Penamano, Ponadam, and Libertado, and I believe Momo Yalonko, you love UDP, electoral UDP. The UDP, you will be ready to follow those principles. Diamo kono aya senandi ba ko UDP is silo lesoto and silo is advising each and every one of us. When I give a double diamo still, he doesn't buy anybody. I'm more stop of selling yourself. I'm also for a diamo kono. And I attended the Franco, UDP la tombondro kata through a process that I often para diamo kono. But I mean, like the people will say ko according ka ala intent for. But look, Momo, you understand? It is a fund, elected chonga. You understand? I mean, you can say your intent at any time you wish. Ila intention is no, you should not, because the problem is, you see, all the problem is about having something in your intent, having an intention if you are not saying it. I just you understand? I'm not going to, go deeper into all the issues and why I am not doing it. I am doing it for a reason, because I know people have spoken. You understand? I mean, people who say they are independent. They have spoken, and the viewers are listening. That people they are independent. Are they speak independent? You understand? Are they speak balance? You understand? They will do those judgments. You understand? For me, being here as a member of the United Democratic Party, and my leader have spoken, and I am ready to adhere to the advice the leader member. That is what is my stand as of now. You see, if you look at all this Burunga, yes, Burunga ketale jamul kata do jam da jana do fan jam da jana. You understand? But at the end of it, we need to look at the foundation of all this issue. Yes, and one has to look at the foundation of all this issue. And if you look at it, Yajibe, for example, if you look at Rohi, you understand, she was invited into a media, and when she was invited, she went there, she spoke her mind, whatever she feel like to say at a word of a year. One might believe Rohi Membo, she is right, one might believe Rohi Membo is not right, but at the end of it, for now, all you need to go, Rohi spoke to the people, at the end of Mole, at the end in a public media, and Mole had people of different mirror, Rohi Lamoy. Let them judge Rohi, you understand? The way you are, and likewise, you come to Yankuba, you understand? Everyone have your own way. Why Yankuba Diamuta, Al Diamoko Fahamje, Umutala independent believe in what you believe. And another person also, of another independent belief, Amaria Lawala. You understand? And if I say you go to the foundation, for example, there has been a lot of issues happening here. Ujama Balel Keta Nung, Melalong Dampitela Jam, and Safir Jamal Lefana Keta. Everybody will go Safir. And one thing we need to understand, for example, let me take, I don't want to say names, because sometimes when you say names, you make people important. I don't think one have to make them important. You understand? Even in tribal call, who is the Dumalaya Kumasi? That's why the problem is Jumalia Kumas, Anung, Cabraya Kumas, I Jumala Tofo. And I meant Tofo, what is the intention behind that? What is, let's open our hearts and think that that's the Minome Alonga Safeta. What is the intention on you? Munganielebo was terminal coma. Molaji will follow. No, Munganielebo coma. Alongo, Mole Saveroke. And me saperoke, mole saperoke, and me saperoke, nice saperoke, atla, if I'm going to atla kibar bono, mainstream media classical ala kuma kan and mainstream media le kuma kan sika from a private Facebook or sometimes from I mean mainstream media ka from sika private Facebook or ya for radio mainstream media ka from sika private from or ya sa newspaper
that is allowed, yeah.
So Omari, people are looking at that person como un demolem. But I mean, message le fokan. Kuma kan wale babulu, kuma kan wale fokan, kuma kan wale advocate kan. Kuma kan wale advocate kan, kuma kan wale mine costly in society. But now it's not only to the society, but we mine costly to an individual yemen to mention. Let's look at this follow. And then, basic time now, we move on, right? You move on, I meant to what was the passing reaction? And what did that passing mean? Amari mean a reaction on you. Some might agree with I mean, some might not agree with it. And then we need to understand one thing here. Those who are saying tribalism, okay, I would say it's your right to say it's tribal. Understand? So it's your right to say okay. Tribal soul. Right word. But one thing you need to understand here, Mandinkole diamuta, Mandinkole ajad. Mandinko wole diamuta. And Mandinkole fana ajad. Benyata ko jibele. Amango comme kafoko, sido diamuta de. Sido diamuta de. But Mandinko wole diamuta. And Mandinkole fana ajad. But Mandinko men diamuta, adiamuta juma lele. Adiam tumale adiam to mo bele abiko sabero menke sabero nyin sitano dula bele to anno ama fo dug ko kono de ama fo dug ko kono anno ama a fo santole ana fo sando damento ay mo le to fo je ayo mari men to fo je ayo la carrière pour nadile ala intention o muminati ni o foundation o ta na bil sign we go to sign jabiro nyin kete nadile Jabir lafana ala Jabiro ayalon ala Jabiro ni ayakemna kama and that became the reason why Yankuba Narenata to a public platform to clarify Sabiro Menketa minayati nabo Sabiro Jabika Jamil Sabiro Menketa minatna keo Sabiro anwa Sabiro ni Nana Keta. I'm not saying names.
Nana
Keta. I'm not saying names.
Ayalo manding kol ko nyabu kaduno ke bar dunu klima e wolole. Bayo. Mbe kacha kam menade. Mandar plan kan alquran wolole. Kana sila.
Ani amaga ko sila. Man ani elamoy. Man
no, let us call anasna. Ela tolfo. Ela tolfo.
Ani elamoy. Amaga ko nimman la ka tolfo. Nta yang ba tolfo la. Nimman la ka tolfo. Ndero to elamoy ngad yam mol mele wol yalo no jumale sabero start ntata wol tol for la to
no, but okay, let's start with this. So it is.
But are those two names familiar and cozy names? That's why you feel comfortable to mention them and not mention anybody else?
Ye Mayor Rohila Moile, ye Chairman Yankubala Moile. Do you think these statements in Yantafra media, like what they address?
I mean, you see, Buba, ngamen fo yang wole nyentu ko ajele. Every problem, na abe wuli kam, wana abe ke kam. There are ways for those problems to be solved. Ajele. And silol million ko nyanta ko problem solve. Ning atara silol tata, ke man solve. You understand? I mean, what do you expect? That's for one thing one have to say.
That means you silol tale but address.
Let me tell you something. You see, like I said, Malafi, to go deep into the issue because this is a party issue. And already
but it has been brought to the nation de party kuolem bari ya nati banta
media kadiamu manyana koroi manyana na media kadiamu. So the same thing I will put myself in, or même pas put la the same skill on the side.
You agree with that?
Nimulpo, Yankuba Manyana na Diamla, Rohimanyana na Diamla. You understand? Okay, but now they are not looking at what Yankuba is meant for, right? And what actually make Yankuba to say that. You understand? But now, okay, Manyana na public media. So, never another Yankuba, okay, because I mean, never public media, whole media longo, I mean, iketele, I'm not going to monkey. You understand? But can I see public media to pay for maybe I feel like, oh, at this moment, my institution doesn't allow me to do it. You understand? Because already, don't think it, in my people, what people are interested at this moment, public media. That's what some people are saying. But some people say, right? So this judgment is not among one side, it's in both sides. Everybody are a more mural focus. So I mean, at this moment, after Napati leader Diamuda, I feel like steps so dol keta or ko dol keta, they don't follow jam. But I know there have been steps Melialonke keta. And but if you also listen to Yankuba Diamo openly, with open mind, yes, Yankuba actually mentioned some of the efforts Melketa. Some of the efforts Melketa. But I believe after all those efforts Melketa, if things are happening, and at the end of it, Yankuba Nara Diamuta, Rohina Diamuta, right? I mean, Talib Nara Diamuta. So at the end of it now, the party leadership feel like, oh, this is an emergency. And it's an emergency, the party have to deal with it right now. Let's say, for example, if such things happen in June 2026, how will that cost to the party? Will they able to manage it before the election at some point? So it's, I think those who feel like there should be change, and they really believe in change, and they really trust in UDP, because UDP must be part of the change. If they believe UDP must be part of the change, they must believe in everything of UDP. So what I think, those who believe in it, I don't tell you who don't believe in it. UDP can be part of the change. But they believe UDP change me UDP die in the jail. UDP any option samana, it will be ideal for them to also accept those options. That is very important. So what I did now, Nimpati leader Diamuta, ala Diamoto, I mentioned the joke UDP be pare in, and UDP be pare in Puruka Baro Master Kunda Bundi. I pare do wala. Masakunda me ya lonko tapale ya numpol me be keka. Ako UDP be pare in. Ako in fact at a phone as Usenu Dago, at the phone, Nim Water Cedar, the process, because I process for it. We will follow the process. And the process Nim Water Cedar, I myself will be interested but Momo, but Habarako, Momo, me along with your interest soto. Purka Severoke, no Water Cedar. You have right, Purka Severoke. And the history is there. Go, that process was followed. And that process, right? Because Baro Tomondro Jang, it was not only Baro Mayor applied, there were 3 numbers Mayor applied in Jang. And likewise, 2021 also, it was not only Dava, Menke Davo Damadime Saveroke. Lamin Jeda Safele, Muk Fanaya Safele. Well, they wrote this, they showed their interest for NFL leadership, and it went to the Central Committee, meaning the process is followed. So the process is there. Whoever feel like the process should be there, you have the process ni momo latala. Then wait for the process. So still now, momentara most stop come to show your interest. But yaja membi internal politics everywhere. Anyanda kake nyala nyama. Namanto nyama. At the end of it, there will be class. Okay. And class is something we actually man like in UDP.
Okay, bye.
Yes.
Nalo mbekacha kanja.
Thank you.
Ihanyita ye president Kofola. Allah follow him. Ihanyita ye president Kofola.
President Baro.
Ila parti yoni. Moyo kumo do fodi. Imam han ka wotofo. Atol ko Allah tapala lo bunda. Tapala ya ba tol fo yale.
No, so
nin tapala ya be ya. Ito tapala wulindi no la.
Talibo, I mean, yalong ibe blala nyemi kan. Ibe blala point tam. But point down. Enough moment. Okay. You want me to mention names.
Yes.
11
yes.
But you
can ask them.
But it man can you kawala. It ya alone. It man nibe silin jande. It ya alone. Kabin jam to it ya alone ko. Mbe jam kan jumale.
But some people men can jibe. Omalo. But men can jibe. The viewers.
Let me show let me tell you something.
Okay.
There is no amount of pressure. Yes, and it may put on me to say something and then you will not say
Galala Fonko Brie Aresila Netamunko. President tell you
I have to put everything off. So right.
I
mean, go
ahead.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I obey laws. So the time you come my what do you didn't understand that. So actually, so and then what they meant to what I would have go. Come with Philip Miano Kumata Party of and more Melialongo, it all they believe in, for example, it a Meya Longo, it a latter. Ko Ning UDP young Quadaba Tombo, Abeganyela, in a moment, and the Quebec cut off fire line. It a Meya Longo, Ilatako, New UDP a Talib Tombo, Abeganyela, and the cut off fire line. In the Meya Longo, Ilatako, New UDP Roy Tombo, Abeganya like near cut off fire. It a Meya Longo, Ilata Landisana, New UDP at Tombo, Abeganyela. It a Meya Longo, Ilata whoever in UDP the structure of Konya Tombong. Yes, and Mulbe cut off fire line. Yes, and that's it a Meya Longo, Italata will say. Say it a Mari should believe in any policy UDP men someone I around in a moment as far as competency is there, because what is more important here, we need change, but change may along go a real change. So that is about
your party is saying in Talib Nara at a Bola party you Yankuba is saying in Talib Nara Bolajel.
But Yankuba they are mourning for I you need to listen to where it starts and where it ends. Listen.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Buba, Yankuba Diamo, ite alamoy. And it's not only you. People many along they also listen to what Yankuba have said. Right? Yankuba Kumakama Memfo is very clear. And then Alakumakama I Memfo is very Ako ate man near Talib Lundi. You understand? Based on what is actually going on, Ate is not going to endorse Talib.
That is not in line with the party policies and principles.
But let me tell you something. But I am if you not altara process la in a moment. Coming Pamul Kago, if we not altara process la. I
will take a decision.
You will take a decision.
Yeah.
So
what but you could have just said I will support.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let me tell you something.
That would have been a fitting response.
When you have Yankuba in any platform, in any Yankuba, you can, go deeper to ask Yankuba. I may mean that he's going to take a decision. You can ask Yankuba. You have all right as a journalist. Anywhere you meet with him, you can able to pop that question to him.
We are reading the intent.
In that moment, one thing I know, UDP. From 2016 to 2021, we were so united. Although there were issues, but at the end of it, issues were solved. We all come together. Na usenuta na particular agenda wapi. Na usenuta na usenu wapi. For alayaki, I mean, election kata nyado nyama. And then people think the way election kata nyama by looking at the results. Some people think, oh, UDP faster. But at the end of it, you understand, Wilton and we are energized.
This time,
Bambola highest economy with diamond of B. So I believe yet still, I mean, the time is there, the space is there, and I believe in the leadership have the competence to make sure all these men who be caring, they put the houses in order. And I urge, we the supporters, you understand, I mean, people see us as supporters. I mean, nim fit no caring, saying haklotum for Kamoto, saying haklotum Sabel Kamoto, because at the end of it, let's say fit no caring, I mean, fit no caring, Yaton called them Maletema, we are militants. For example, if we take a step, it went so wrong. At the end of the day, now you understand, the life sometimes become hard for you. So it's always important to understand. I'm advice, and I'm advising anybody. You are in the party, you believe in the policies and the principles of the party. And you Democratic Party is the party it has to be part of that changes. As the party leader said, the party is open for all. The party, any political party, an opposition political party, we are saying welcome to your Democratic Party and all what has happened.
Thank you.
That's a campaign message. We are not campaigning here. Hey. This is not a campaign platform. This is not a campaign platform. It's very, very important. At the end of the day, nying fati fatu, nying naka fati fati, jisukando, naka chess dordena. Sisu Konkongo. That's my teacher. Sisu Konkongo. At the end of the day, dinay ega ci chapandaw ba. You understand? Gis nga ate bayila. Kii Rubé rek lay def kii Rubé waaye xaaral taalibo abatu gis nga olof dafa wax lu leer gëlëm kenn du ko solal coquette parce que dafa njool ba pare nit ko lu mun nañ ko bàyyee nit ko lu man nañ ko dooleel at the end of the day loo xam ne mooy yóbbu Gambia kanam nañ leen make sure ñun ñëpp ñu bokk ñu support ko because at the end of the day bugguma nit ki moo tax bugguma bu jiital ma am na benn bés Dudu Ja toog na fii nii mu ne gis nga koo xam ne bugut ñu jiite ko du mus a jiite foog nga nangu ñu jiite la nga xombul sa boppa then yow it boo jiitee nit ñi nangul la you understand at the end of the day ñu ne Gambia man where I have a problem is I cannot see people point fingers to hold Barrow accountable for certain things that they themselves have found wanting. I have a problem because this is a national issue. It's not an individual issue. Let's check ourselves. If you want peace, like our code of arms, peace, progress, prosperity, it has to start from the houses. It has to start from our communities, in our workplaces, in our parties, because these are government in waiting. It has to start from there before we can even demand for it somewhere else. If we want that, really as individuals, as communities, as parties, as leaders, we have to take away from our hearts the hate, the bigotry, the tribal sentiments, the tribal politics, the manipulation, the lies, the deceit. We have to take all those things from our hearts. Because, hey, our Bible tells us, because all things else, we need to guard our hearts. Because everything else flows from the heart. All of that, luchi hol fenchi kanam. Luchi hol fenchi kanam. Fii nit dang ko de gis liñ fi waxati rek li nekk ci biir xolam la politique la dañoo tànn waaye askan bi nañ bàyyi xel parce que fii koy dénka rek dafa fekk mu doy la koy yóbbante dafa fekk nga óolu ko so suñuy choose nañ dénk koo xam ne doy nañu nañ yóbbante koo xam ne óolu nañ ko koo xam ne du fa nekkal boppam askan bi la faa nekkal fii yëfi Gambia du yëfi individualism te naxaate dafa bari we can read in between the lines but at the end of the day I say it again Barrow is doing everything right to become the next president, and the opposition is doing nothing to take Barrow out of power. But if you point fingers at Barrow, make sure you're not found wanting of what you're pointing your fingers towards Barrow. Because for Gambia, we cannot be taking sides.